Let's talk about our teams.
Fair enough.
Let's talk about our teams. Let's talk about these two guys.
Hashtag are you in Victoria's Secret?
Oh, man. Tough battle they had last time, hashtag are you.
Yeah.
For example, you face Simp,
Mhm.
right? They take the first battle. What is a team to do to break their defense? Hashtag are you tried, and they just couldn't make it happen.
I mean, you go back to week 1, and you've got Fun Gaming. They're trying to break their defense. They just can't catch a break against these teams that are defending. They just can't seem to make it happen, no matter how hard they try.
And we felt kind of sorry for Young Money Cash Money because he's been back in action for the last 2 matches, and they've lost them both.
Yeah.
But buck up, buckaroo, because third time's the charm when it comes to World of Tanks and when it comes to America. So when it comes to hashtag RU right now, if they win, they rise to 3rd place. If they lose, they fall to 6th place. Talking about their opponents, Victoria's Secret, they have 4 losses. They've lost against RBIS, Top Tier, Simp, and C'est La Vie. They have 1 win so far, and that's up against Fun Gaming. Now, vicariously, Fun Gaming has taken out hashtag RU, the very first matchup we saw, which had 3 draws at the beginning. So you would think that maybe they could take out this team, but there's been shifts and changes and roster changes and all sorts of things that have happened to all these teams over the last 6 weeks. The thing with Victoria's Secret is that next week they face Simple Tankers, so this is a do or possibly die for Victoria's Secret. If they win, they rise to 6th place. If they lose, they're 1 game away from knockout.
Yep. And we're gonna have one captain here today, Young Money Cash Money. You can tell him all about how you feel sorry for him. Maybe you can buck him up.
I hope so. Still waiting to see if we're ready to have Young Money Cash Money show
we
up
are.
here. We are? All right.
Oh,
I'm sure you
yes.
can hear me now. Hello, Young Money Cash Money from hashtag RU.
Hey guys,
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I'm doing awesome as well. Good to see you. Good to see you. My question for you is, what happened last week on Mines with Simp?
Well, there was misunderstanding between us, mainly with Gazilla mode. That's what led to our lose. Well, Simp is a solid team and they did a great job against us, so it isn't much we could do against them.
Do you
But-
feel that maybe the curse has been lifted? you felt kind of bad of coming back, and then there've been a couple losses since you've been on the field?
That was very bad. I'm very sensitive to the losses. I hate losing, but it was hard. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna stop losing, and we lost enough in the group stage, and in the last 2 matches we're not gonna lose.
Do you feel like Simp was targeting you specifically last week?
I don't think so. In some cases, it was a tactical, in some cases because of me, in some cases because of tactical misunderstanding. So I don't really think they targeted me.
So you think we might need to be scared of you sometimes, but other times it's just a tactical decision to be scared of you.
Exactly.
All right, Young Money, is there anything you'd like to say to a lot of the fans that are watching tonight to cheer you guys on?
Sure. Hashtag, are you gonna show some solid strats tonight? We improved with our losses, and I'm pretty sure we gonna show you the performance even better than we showed in the previous season. So, looking forward for the battle. See you on the battlefield.
Well said, Young Money Cash Money. We'll see you on the battlefield. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it. They want to play to win. Who doesn't, especially in week number 6? But hashtag RU is a bit of a chip on their shoulder because they were haunted a bit by that shootout that they had in the Season 3 finals.
Oh, man. That was a rough.
Against Hammer Time. That was
rough
quite a
way to
series.
end it.
Quite a series, all the way up to the shootout.
Yeah.
Tough place to be in. However, hashtag RU is, they've gone through a little bit of changes here and there. I don't think it's been the improvement mode. It's been more of the upping of talent from other teams here. Victoria's Secret joining us. You see on the rosters here, Disruption will be leading that team. I'll take a look at how M-Pro performs tonight.
I'm looking out for Icy and Too Good. They are new members to Victoria's Secret. I know that Disruption has been looking for some kind of roster change and improvement to make to that team, and he's been waiting weeks because the roster change was at one very specific time, and that was during our bye week. And that was when he could make the change, but weeks before, he could have really used that, he was telling me, because he had players that left or were just unavailable right at the beginning of the season, right after they solidified their roster. So now with Icy and Too Good, there's a good chance to that Disruption and his guys will have a much easier time and possibly perform a little better. We'll have to see.
We'll have to see indeed. I look forward to seeing if these guys pop up on the battlefield tonight. And as I always say, it's not only the individuals, it's the teams that make these victories happen. Rookhill, what are your rules for victory for these teams?
All right, first rule is going to be prepare for counterplay. Victoria's Secret seems to love counterplay. For #RU to win, they're going to have to be prepared for that and have their own strats ready that both compensate for their own strategies and any counterplay involved with that, and also bring something that's different and more potent probably than they have been in the past. Second rule is welcome Icy and Too Good. I'm looking forward to their performance and if they're going to be competent or if they're going to just drop the ball. It's going to be a lot of pressure on them to perform today because they have not had the experience of playing all season. Today is the day where they're going to have to show us what they've got. And then finally, open maps. Victoria's Secret can pick open maps for the most part and probably perform rather well. I don't feel as confident about #RU's abilities on open maps like Prohorovka, but they should avoid mines because it does seem like #RU has an excellent understanding of mines, especially the south. And also, just stay away from Himmelsdorf. #RU is dangerous on that map.
Danger zone, indeed. Well, Prohorovka, let's see if it's going to be the fastest map for these two teams, or will it be a bit of a slow-moving type engagement between these two teams where a lot is at stake for both Victoria's Secret fighting to get out of the lowest part of the division. #RU fighting to make it to the playoffs. Rookhill, what do we have for tanks?
For tanks, I'm looking at a 5100, 2 T69s, 2 1390s, 2 T1 Cunninghams for #RU. Victoria's Secret will bring a Pershing, 2 T69s, 2 1390s, and 2 T1 Cunninghams.
All right, 2, 1, and here we go. I'll be following the team to the north, the blue team, that's Victoria's Secret. To the south, as you see on your screen, is #RU.
All right, I'm going to be looking for that opening scout run. Let's follow Master Putin. And I want to detail something about opening scout runs. He's going to actually hang out on this ridge. And there are ridges that go to the middle of the map. And if you take the ridge, you're going to have actually a more efficient route because you don't have to do an uphill climb right at the end. You get this nice slow climb. And it actually allows you to get a nice jump, just like Master Putin is going to be able to use. He'll find Icy, he'll find Tyler Durden, he'll find Rummy, and Serenity. He spotted every single tier 8 on Victoria's Secret as they've tried to go to the east. Now, in the meantime, there has been plenty of spotting, but the engagement begins.
Some dude 904 taking some shots here. Another one to the front. Valera Desolator, look how low, and he's down. The 5100 got targeted. Victoria's Secret
So well.
got the kill, but Master Putin's pushing up. He wants blood against some dude. One shot. And they're pulling the turrets. Misses a shell. And now Serenity 17 trying to push up. Look at the turret break happening against Victoria's Secret. They're focusing on Master Putin, allowing the front to be open for Young Money, Cash Money, Angry Granny. Big miss.
Young Money needs to come in here and get some shots. Now he might be able to get Rummy. And I think he will. Now Serenity is almost loaded, but a good body block should be able to allow Young Money, Cash Money to absorb most of this damage.
Serenity 17, full shells. Disruption. Trying to get some damage from behind, and it's Putin that gets a shot. Notice that Disruption, the leader of Victoria's Secret's in a T1 rather than a tier 8. Angry Granny. He's low.
Kaboom. Little ammo rack for T1.
And Young Money trying to get Serenity from behind. One more shot, Serenity will fall. Topple him. Still alive at the T1, but he can't perform much against these 1390s.
Young Money unfortunately misses one of his final shells. Now only Toplin is left.
Victoria's Secret. That firefight with Master Putin I thought was going to #RU's favor because they were trying to focus on him, but when the dust settled, it was Victoria's Secret that had more tanks in their favor. And those two, it was the 2 T69s and the 1 Pershing that fell first. Victoria's Secret takes battle number 1.
Ouch.
Honestly, taking out the 5100, GG.
Yeah, right then and there. Once you saw Valero Desolator go down, we barely even got to see it happen. He just went down so incredibly quickly. The focus fire was brilliant from Victoria's Secret. You could have asked for a better situation, though, because that 5100 just went up and over without any proper support or anyone else to pull guns. When you go in on an open map against your opponent, you can't just send one tank in right on ahead. He's going to die so quickly that he can't even be used as a breakthrough tank. which is why you have to kind of split their guns up. You have to approach from maybe 1 or 2 different little spots, try and get 1 or 2 tanks to put their attention on one or 2 on another, and then send someone else in as the breakthrough. Because unlike a city map, when you go all in and you have the breakthrough, it's not immediately someone right behind them, heavy tanks firing on the move with a little more accuracy. It's light tanks and medium tanks firing on the move, where you're going to have a lot more issues bouncing and missing because, 1390s on the move is miserable.
Yes, it definitely is for accuracy. But you look at the T-69s as well, and it's trying to figure out where to use them the best. And I'm noticing a lot of T-69s are staying alive for a lot of these engagements, but they can't dish out the amount of damage necessary at the end of their reloads, or they're not able to get the kill that's necessary because of a missed shot or a lot of fizzles happening against these tanks that are staying alive longer, the consistent fire tanks. So that begs the question, are these T-69s either the wrong choices, or are they not being used properly in the entire team structure and dynamic of the tank choices itself?
I think it's actually not being used properly in the hands of the individual. What they're doing is they're wasting a lot of shells. Now, you could say it's not out of their control a little bit because it's going into tracks and such, but maybe loading AP on some of these maps and placing your shots more carefully against 1390s would be better. It's just the fizzle of the heat rounds. When they hit tracks, they hit spaced armor. Heat does not perform well against spaced armor.
Yeah.
It loses massive amounts of penetration.
So it's the behavior of that type of shell compared to the AP. And I'll take a look at, see what the penetration difference is between those two shells.
It's about, let's see, a little less than 100, around maybe 80 to 90, I think.
We'll check the hard stats when we jump into this game. Himmelsdorf, battle number 2 between Victoria's Secret and hashtag RU. What do we have for tanks?
For tanks, we've got 3 AMX 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and 2 T1 Cunninghams for hashtag RU. Victoria's Secret will bring 2 5100s, 3 IS-3s, and 2 T1 Cunninghams. It's a 3 IS-3 versus 2 IS-3 lineup. Ooh. Yep.
Penetration of a T-69 AP round, 173 millimeters.
Yes.
For a heat,
250.
250.
Yep.
That's quite a difference.
And that's why they actually avoid using AP a lot, because the penetration is rather low.
And that's plus or minus 25%.
That's plus or minus 10% penetration.
10%.
25% is the damage.
On damage, yes.
Yeah.
My apologies. 25% on damage, 10% on penetration.
And actually, before World of Tanks, very early World of Tanks, it was plus or minus 50% damage.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a long time ago.
Can you imagine that?
Long time ago.
Oh, Victoria's Secret, they're going to play the defensive game. They're going to huddle in the train tracks here. And the train station to the north of the train tracks. Firing is too good and icy. Shot return coming from Young Money.
There's a lot of shells just hitting stuff. And I thought I saw Icy try and put one through a window, which was interesting. Now we've got plenty of fire trading out, not really getting anywhere. Valera Desolator even unloaded entirely. I don't even think they see each other for the most part.
No, this is blind shots.
Now Young Money actually has a nice high ground position.
Like they're
onto
spotted.
Icy and Too Good in the window.
Shot fired, that one did not connect from Too Good.
I just didn't even see where it went on the Young Money side.
Trying to fire through the keyhole. Kazo fired upon from Icy, does not connect. Shots going back and forth, no connections.
And we've got a standoff. Everyone just shooting out at each other, seeing what they can get, if they can at all. Take any hits here. I'm actually going to look at the...
Oh, Too Good takes a shot to the front.
Nice job by Young Money, Cash Money. That was it. Did not expect that connection.
Traded fire back and forth. Icy fires down the line, no connection. So, as I mentioned before, Victoria's Secret can play as defensive since they have the win under their belt. In battle number 2, 4 draws would be a total win here. With a shot fired from Icy down this corner. Nothing really to shoot at except the T1s. Well, one T1, Kazo, Master Putin, further down. Checking in with some of the other tankers on the side of Victoria's Secret. Rummy in the 5100 moving to the other side of the train depot. And he is not able to see much, peeking around the corner. But Icy takes a hit for 368. Rummy looking to return fire. Still sees nothing. Taking a look at Serenity. He's on the train tracks on the opposite side of his compatriot Rummy. Sees nothing really to fire upon. No tanks at all on the hill for either team except for one T1. Might be Toplum.
Chilling out towards the
Scout.
hill.
Yeah. And Floppy Giraffe in the T1, the only tank that is spotted, still holding next to the wall, the train depot. Too Good spotted again. And that traded fire still happening between these keyholes. Ooh, shot was close. Just above.
All right, and how are these guys going to be able to break this position? We've got such a defensive position from the south and the north. The north, I don't see how it's going to happen, but south, I'm expecting Clutch, and tell me if you think this is wrong, maybe an attack to the north, or try and pinch up a little bit and bring that attack in on one of the tanks in D3, kind of to pinch him off there. But you can also begin that north cap with the south cap pressure. From the north, what's your idea, Clutch?
Well, you look at the scouting advantages of pushing one of those tanks into the courtyard, but do you have a T1 do it? You risk that, or do you have a tier 8? It's up to the type of aggression.
Just kind of move a T1 down the banana, try and do something there?
Especially if they notice some scouting happening inside the courtyard coming from #RU. You use that T1 to see, all right, where are the rest of the tanks engaged? And a lot of times it'll be, a lot of tier 8 tanks will be spotted coming up the 8 line on Tank Alley. So that's one position that the T1 can take. However, if #RU is able to make it past the courtyard and into the D line, the next question is, how much of your tanks do you put on flag cap pressure? Who's going to focus on the one tank that's in Alpha 4 in the window? And which tanks will watch the flanks coming from 5, 7, 8, 3?
It does look like there's going to be an interesting development going towards the east, actually, in the meantime.
Rummy, Disruption, and Tyler Durden.
And that's going to be 8 line pressure.
And they're ready for that movement from #RU. Instead of using that courtyard scouting, they're going up the 7-8 line.
All right, Godzilla mode going into the courtyard. This is one way to do it. And they've found Tyler Durden, Rummy Disruption. That's going to actually probably throw them off a little bit. Godzilla might decide to go back towards those tanks, knowing that there is something in the west, that they have a split enemy, and that they need to make a push. If they don't, they're going to find themselves with flank fire from Too Good and Icy, the new players for Victoria's Secret. Shots fired into Godzilla, 378 in the first hit. Those IS-3s are going to back off now. Reload. A little fire missed from Tyler Durden. It's okay, he's an IS-3, can waste it.
I like the split trying to occur from #RU, but look at the traded damage now happening. Angry Granny is shot and low. Too Good unloaded upon, and he falls.
Did he stick himself out too far? I think so.
Yeah, they were not anticipating that many tanks to be coming through that one slot.
Although now Young Money and Godzilla are in a tough position. They have to pick a direction. They have to pick an engagement. But Young Money, unfortunately, is taking too much damage, and he will go down.
Godzilla mode's low after that 306 hit coming out of Rummy. Serenity's following him. And Serenity is yelling, "Serenity now!" as he kills Godzilla mode. Rummy fires down to the south against Valera.
Valera's taking some damage from Floppy as well, and now Floppy's playing a good T1, able to get a shell out of Valera, do a little damage, and maybe even bait another one. And yes, he does! Valera misses, and he is out of shells on his reload. Putin and Angry Granny have 2 shells each, and they do not have enough health between them to take on Tyler Durden.
Rummy ready for the kill against Valera, lines up the shot, and gets it. Look at all these tanks still left alive for Victoria's Secret. They've only lost 1 tier 8. T1 firing against Angry Granny allows Rummy to move in for the kill and gets it. Master Putin, last tier 8 left alive.
Serenity's blocked him.
And they get that shot. Topple him again, last tank moving up on the hill, trying to stay alive. Rookkill, what is happening? Victoria's Secret is going to be up 2-0 against hashtag RU. What is happening to our veteran teams?
I don't know. I don't know what is happening to them. These new guys are coming in and just doing so well, executing so exceptionally well. I don't get it. I would have expected more from teams like hashtag RU. There's got to be something wrong with the team. They made a lot of roster changes in the offseason, but I didn't think it would affect them like this.
Victoria's Secret takes battle number 2 on Himmelsdorf. Victoria's Secret, a team that joined us in the Silver League, a team that has practiced so many times with Arbus, a rival of Arbus, now one battle away from taking down hashtag RU. This victory would be huge for them. This victory would bump them up to 5th place.
And that would give them a chance.
This would give them a chance. It would also tie them up with hashtag RU, I believe, in the standings overall. We'll have to check at the end of the night tonight. But this is quite a surprise. We were very surprised by C'est La Vie versus Top Tier. Even though it's still a victory for Top Tier, it's only 1 point.
And if they do, I'm going to confirm this right now, Victoria's Secret wins tonight. They tie with hashtag RU for 6 points, which also ties them with Simple Tankers. Yeah, that's rough, isn't it?
Wow. Wow.
And then,
these veteran teams are going to be tied up.
Yep.
Incredible.
Absolutely brutal.
Well, it's the storylines are. When we get closer and closer to the end, it's building up more and more between all these teams.
Yep. And then Victoria's Secret next week plays Simple Tankers. After this series, their next
Oh, my
series is
goodness.
against Simple Tankers.
Next week, the
Yeah.
final week of group play.
Yeah, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No.
We've still got hashtag RU here.
We're theory
It's not over
crafting.
yet.
We're theory
Yes.
crafting the future of these teams. Yeah, anything can still happen, especially with hashtag RU. I mean, they were up. They were up 2-0 against Simple Tankers, and Simple Tankers came back, or was it vice versa?
You talking about the Simple Tankers one? That was last.
That was
not last
multiple
week.
weeks
That
ago.
was- that was a while
That
back.
was week 3.
That was a crazy match. Yeah,
It
hashtag
was.
RU versus Simple Tankers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
It
that.
was a 3-2 back and forth.
Yeah, it was back and forth, but I think hashtag RU took it.
Yeah, they did 3-2.
Man, that was a tough loss for Simple Tankers.
Yeah, and now
Really
they're
good
sitting in the
series.
same spot.
So the best series of this series so far have involved Simple Tankers.
They really did give us the best matches.
They took Simp to a tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
That was incredible. That Bernal Empires versus Fnatic one was great too.
And it really surprises me how they don't have a better record with that many matches that are going so amazingly.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, that's because wins matter. That's what matters in the end. Well, we may be surprised for now, but soon it'll be a staple to see these teams perform so well that are joining us for the first time in the Gold League. Let's see if they can close it out 3-0 against hashtag RU, or will this be another amazing comeback from the Eastern Bloc team? What do we have for tanks, Ruko?
3 AMX 5100s, an IS-3, a 1390, and 2 T1 Cunninghams for hashtag RU. Victoria's Secret will be bringing 2 AMX 5100s, 2 IS-3s, a 1390, and 2 T1 Cunninghams. Let's see what they can do. Topolin going to the west, and we've got Godzilla mode going for an opening scout run. Icy's going to match him in his 1390. But Godzilla seems to have a slightly better jump. They meet. And they're going to have to break off, neither of them really wanting to get in on that engagement, knowing that they are alone. And they will leave. And actually, they're going to meet in the city. Both teams have gone for a city block attack. And it looks like hashtag RU is moving up. At the same time, Victoria's Secret will be making their own approach. And now a T1 disruption is pinned.
He is pinned. He fires back at Toplum, who's super low.
Barely lives. With 5 hit points left and a shot fired from Master Putin.
And he takes a hit.
And it wasn't even able to connect on Disruption. Disruption juked too hard. Where's that 1390? Godzilla mode is very important right now. He has to get on the flank. But he does not know that the other 1390 is nowhere nearby. If he can verify that, he can do some real work. But otherwise, he's going to have trouble.
Disruption still holding on the fountain. Floppy Giraffe. He's close to flag cap. Icy dancing back and forth.
Disruption still doesn't go down. Young Money firing upon him, but still no connection. Disruption is the luckiest little T1 I've ever seen, or perhaps one of the best drivers I've ever seen. And there, shots fired. Young Money bounces 2 from some dude and Tyler Durden.
Oof. Oh,
And
man.
that will give him actually...
Now luck moving into his favor.
Mm-hmm. All right. That can work. Putin, Valera, Angry Granny are going to use that opportunity to move up and perhaps start their own engagement soon. Hashtag RU knows that they have to push. They have to win this one. And where is that 1390? Kazo moving up. 1390 Godzilla mode on his heels. They're going to begin taking control of the east, making it work. They just have to be careful that there's a icy 1390 watching out for him.
Oh, he's watching. He's watching and
Oh, he's
waiting.
moving in too. He knows. He smells something's up. He hasn't seen that 1390. He's got to be playing around some at it.
Icy's looking.
He's not going to find anything. Not
No.
yet. Kazo might spot him though.
Still plenty of time.
Kazo?
7-12.
No. Does not have the view range to get that.
Explanation for the draw. If this is a draw, and it's a draw on battle number 4, Victoria's Secret wins.
But here, if Victoria's Secret wins, they're
They seal the
very
deal.
secure.
Yeah, they seal their fate for week number 6. Don't want to leave things up to chance, but you have to do the best with what you've got. Victoria's Secret is waiting for hashtag RU to come towards him.
Oh,
Serenity
wow.
still working on the reload. Wow,
I
look
just
at that.
realized Angry Granny, Valera, and Putin are all sitting on a corner just watching.
Oh, they're ready.
Dude, anyone who comes around this corner is completely dead. There's no way you live through this. You'd have to be an IS-3, bounce the first 2, and just run very quickly backwards as you realize what you've done. The huge mistake you've made.
A little
Now,
bit of scouting
Kazo's
happening
lit.
with Kazo.
He's lit. He does have cover.
Is Toplum joining him, Kazo?
Godzilla is joining him.
It's Godzilla mode
Yeah.
right there.
That's Godzilla. Hi, Godzilla.
Kilo 0,
Yes. See? There he is. Watching over him.
1390. If they scout that,
T1 fight.
Victoria's Secret could decide to push up, but I would not advise that. Disruption spotted still. Ooh, shot fired towards him, misses. Floppy Giraffe holding back, firing into Toplum's possible position.
It's Godzilla.
Icy now moving up together. Victoria's Secret is taking ground. They're moving past the fountain. Serenity
Oh.
is spotted.
They know what's up. They've got the overmatch. They're going to send a 1390 and they're going to begin an engagement. Young Money does not have enough health,
Oh.
and he's going to go down so quickly. One more shell should finish off Young Money, but it looks like they've actually forced the back. Victoria's Secret has made a mistake in that. They're allowing Young Money to live. They're going to continue focusing, but now there's hit point sharing going on for hashtag RU, and there's a few bounces.
Big bounce against Master Putin's tank. Shot fired into Angry Granny. And the overmatch now going to happen from hashtag RU against Victoria's Secret. Icy, after takes down Young Money from behind, the 1390 with the sweep could come in and get the kill and the wins. Serenity holds against Master Putin, and there goes Valera. Angry Granny low, but still alive. Tyler Durden trying to get the last shot. Some dude. Here comes Icy. Ice, baby, around the corner. Lines up a shot, but Tyler Durden gets the kill. Godzilla mode's the last one alive. They can do any damage for hashtag RU. Victoria's Secret is close to shutting down this veteran team. Godzilla mode rams into some dude. Kazo last alive. T1 on the flag. Cat. Victoria's Secret is going to do it. They're going to win 3-0 against hashtag RU. There's the lone tank trying to survive in a world full of violence and disruption. And Victoria's Secret takes it under the leadership of Disruption. 3-0 against hashtag RU.
Mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing indeed. But it's going to get to a point, Rookhill, we're not surprised by this because this team will now be declared a veteran team after this season.
They will.
Hopefully, if they're able to stay in the league.
Oh, there's no doubt. After this, they will have 6 points. They'll be tied with hashtag RU and Simple Tankers. Next week, they play Simple Tankers. The winner of that will be the team which is secured in this league, or at least is going to go to relegations, and then they have a chance to fight their way back in, or at least fight to keep their spot. Otherwise, the loser of that is very likely to actually be relegated out automatically.
Just trying to take a look at the overall stats here
Yeah.
in this last one. I want to take a look at Icy. Where are you, my friend? 4 for 6.
Nah, not bad.
Not bad in the 1390.
Yeah. Could have been better.
ICJ. ICZYJ. It's quite a crazy name.
I asked when I saw him sign up. I was like, okay, what's his name?
Yeah, Icy.
How do I say this? And he's like, just call him Icy. And I was like, thank you, Disruption. Because
Yeah.
apparently that's what they call him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I call him. All right, Serenity 17 was 7 for 8. Tyler Durden, 4 for 7. Some dude, 5 for 6. But Icy in that 1390, he was far away, but he started to push up when they went for the engagement on the fountain, and then he swung around from behind. And that was that pressure that was really, really important there because it forced hashtag to RU to go forward.
Yeah, actually, if I could take the time to explore it, then we could explain that on Ruinberg,
Yes.
the city side is such that when you find your opponent's positions, there is an absolute answer. You pick a flank, you decide to go east, west, north, south, whatever you need to do, but what you do is you pin your opponent in place, force them to turn their turrets one way, and you bring a flank around. You bring 2 or 3 tanks right into the backfield, and you will clean up. You will win as long as you can get the two flanks against their one solid group, unless they pick up on it. If you're
Indeed.
the defender and you can make that push happen, you can go around the corner, keep your opponent wasting time going around those different corners to try and keep up with you, then you can win because you can get the focus fire and the overmatch. It's just a back and forth. There's an answer to everything.
There is. There is an answer to everything. And these teams are starting to figure that out. And we're seeing different answers that are still correct compared to answers that are chosen that might not be as effective or still work, but it was kind of sloppy.
If you took them on a test and you put out a lot of those answers that aren't really correct, they're not really wrong, there's a better answer. Usually you don't get credit.
I know. It's still for the win, but we're seeing some excellent play coming out of these teams. Let's recap what happened overall by taking a look at the standings. Simp, they're still in the lead, 16 league points. RBIS solidifies themselves in second place at 12 league points. Top tier right behind him, now in third place, getting knocked down with 10 league points. Fun Gaming, still in the mix with 9. Hashtag RU, fifth place, tied up with Simple Tankers and Victorious Secret. C'est la vie at the bottom. They most likely will not be joining us, at least from the standings.
You know what's
But
amazing?
That means one of those 3 teams that are tied could get kicked out of the Gold League.
Yeah, but think about this. If their scores stay tied, which they won't at the end of the season, 2 of them have to play, and one of them will at least get 1 league point, or they'll get the 3, and they'll move up. Think about that tiebreaker.
Wait. Okay.
Think about it.
All right, so Simple Tankers versus Victorious Secret, right?
Mhm.
Winner moves up, loser stays.
Yeah.
That means that loser that stays is out of the Gold League.
Yes.
Unless they have to play a tiebreaker with hashtag RU.
Quite possibly. There's a situation where that can happen if hashtag
Wow.
RU loses next time.
Wow.
We could actually lose hashtag RU or Simple Tankers next season.
Wow.
But there's the chance that they come back through the open qualifier, which
There
2
is.
teams can come back through. And if a team
There
like
is.
Simple Tankers drops out this season, there's no doubt that they just right back on
Oh,
in
of
through the
course.
open qual.
But
It would be devastating, yes.
But again, we saw this happen to Refuse to Die and Bernal Empires. Bernal Empires, second place team in the Bravo division. Let's take a look at what we're going to see tomorrow for the Bravo division. We take a look for the matches. Googly Bobbers against Bernal Empires. That'll be our first matchup. Fnatic versus Refuse to Die. Then the Cunninghams versus Kung Fu. Finally, Hammer Time versus River of Blood.
That'll be a nice one. I'm looking at the first one and the final one. Hammer Time, River of Blood, Googly Bobbers, Bernal Empires. Those will be interesting.
Fnatic Refuse to Die as well. Refuse to Die is in 5th place, I believe, maybe tied.
Yeah,
Fnatic in first place. Bernal Empires brought Fnatic real close.
they did, but can Refuse to Die do it? That's going to be an incredibly hard thing. No one's been able to do it so far.
It will be. It will be. This is it. This is what we're getting ramped up for, my friend. Next week is the last day of group play for the Alpha Division, but we still have to get through Bravo tomorrow to find out where the standings are going to be for all these different teams.
Oh, man.
This has been the closest season, I think, for the amount of talent that we have
Yes.
between all these teams. It's very incredible to see.
Absolutely.